Alright. Alright. Everyone. This is what you get when you sub to this channel or become a patron. On Saturdays, you may submit a replay of a game of yours for either analysis, where I break it down and try and help you figure out what you could have done better, or meme casting, where I cast the game as though you were the greatest god on the face of the StarCraft community. Hang on. Back that ass up. This was a key moment. This is an interaction that is worth some discussion. The Protoss sends a probe toss into the Zerg space. Isszul, being the fearsome swarm that he is, will have no bullshit. No pylons, no cannons. No blades, no bows, no evil shall befall this hive cluster. But then, not content with simply putting a drone on the Proberto, all of the drones elect to tackle this probe. This is a bit risky, because if the Protoss is paying attention, they can mineral walk, get through the workers, and then you're a little bit behind in some mining time. But if you kill it, this is a worker that will never build a structure. It will never mine another resource, so long as the match continues. And the violence begins. Isszul is going to be ahead for the rest of the game because of that. And the barcode Protoss, knowing that he is now behind, gives a smiley face, appreciating the vicious attack that the opponent has launched at his own home base. 16 drones, gas, forward base. Isszul expanding outward onto the map, consuming as much as he possibly can. Overlords flying hither and yonder. Gas being mined. The extractor wiggling and jiggling with every little bit of SP that passes henceforth and into the hive. Or hatch. Or whatever. Another probe venturing out, seeing if the Zerg is still where it was before. And so it is. There is a base. Even 2 drones. Even 4 lings. Another one. That's 2 workers that have been killed by friend Isszul. And look at this. Look at what Isszul is looking at. 1 gateway. 2 gateways adept. Mothership core. Another gateway. And a base. Could the Protoss play in a more standard fashion? I submit that they could not. And a 3rd. And an inject. Creep tumor? Perhaps. Perhaps later. When the mood strikes. Instead, we'll double stack the inject. A fair choice. This Protoss is a zealot in the wall. 2 adepts. Moving out. Roach Warren, Spore. No Spore here. A Spore here. Pretty smart. So here we're representing investing in the Spore Crawlers at the bases closest to the Protoss first, and the base that is furthest away after. If there were an Oracle, Isszul didn't get all the scouting information, so there could be a Pylon Stargate here, and it could have flown here, would be the closest, and then this would be the next closest. What do we have in the units tab? Both players have quite a few workers. Macroing up. No one is doing a 1 base all-in. Both people are very respectfully saturating their 2nd base. The Chrono Boost tells the intention of the Protoss, what they're trying to do. We have Warp Gate research on the way. Twilight Council. Twilight Council is a really solid and logical follow-up to a daytime council. And a great prelude to an evening council. Taking some gases. Overlord speed, so that Overlords will be able to more effectively survive. The very respectful Protoss saying, you know what, you may have that Overlord in my base, but I'm just going to give you some time, and then I'm going to shoot you down. Let's look at the units tab now. 48 drones to 47. 9 Hydras to none. 37 Lings to 1 Zealot. 16 Overlords to 1 Mothership Core. How long would it take 1 Voidway to kill 16 Overlords? There are people who are currently in scientific labs that are making those calculations right now. Adepts in a prism. Giving the Zerg a bad time. Did something... Hang on. I just missed an important moment in this game. I messed up. We're gonna fix this. I want to see what died. I think it was... Was it an Oracle? An Observer here. Let's see. Let's follow through the eyes of Isszul. It's Queens on a plane. Queens on a plane? Pull the drones away. What in the hell is this announcer? That's one of the cool features when you're listening or watching a replay and you take that player's POV, I think it equips their announcer. The prism died in a ditch. The queen drop. So the queen drop is a very interesting move because it's lower DPS than pretty much any other type of drop, but the queens can support each other, they can heal the Overlord, and they can do this. Who does this? I'll tell you what, Isszul does this. This is one of the most amazing tactics in all of StarCraft 2. It really makes the other player, who is non-Zerg, feel just icky and gross. It's kind of like, as a form of active protest and resistance to an enemy or a rival faction, instead of going out and punching someone on the streets, just going into their house and making a mess on their floor that they will have to clean up at some point. This is the mess that has been left. There's vision granted by this, a forge, an assimilator, a base, a pylon. Nothing too out of the ordinary, but it's messy and it's gross. And just in the back of the Protoss mind, it's just the feeling of disgust. There's a thing. I'm not going to clean it up, though. Because the Observer, what? Where's the Observer? Oh, I think that's Milo chewing on the Observer in the background. It's dead. Double Forge, Protoss going deep in the upgrades. But if we look at this, just look at the supply. 165 supply. What can Protoss do against this? Zerg is just spamming units. And with a simple A move. The Zerg simply A moves. Got some queens behind the Hydras. Microing the Hydras back, transfusing the queens. Look at that arc of adepts. 1-1 adepts. Realizing they're not breaking through the Queen Hydra. Falling back, but then going forward, then falling back. Not quite sure what to do here. Queen dropping again. Taxing the opponent's multitasking. Isszul annihilates the third base, and all that is left is rubble and dust and some electricity. For whatever reason. Roach speed. Because sometimes if you're making good units like Queens and Hydras, you want to transition to worse units to give your opponent a better shot. That's legit. Notice the main base is mining out. Isszul's just waiting for that correct moment to transfer them to the fourth base to get better value. And I want to give a shout out to these creep tumors that have just been continuing to make progress. Until now, I mean, they're dead, but these ones are still alive, these creep tumors, 50 HP apiece. This cannon does not reveal them, so there's just a icky, gross mess still in the Protoss natural. Look at this creep highway. Where is this even going? Who knows? It's going somewhere, though. What a beautiful minimap for Zerg. What an awful nightmare for Protoss. 28 probes against 54 drones. Protoss options are wearing thin, but at least they're disruptors. I would say Disruptor is the best comeback unit in the game for Protoss. You can get amazing hits on huge armies and sometimes come out ahead. Disruptors firing into the Queens and Hydras, getting huge connections. Huge connections. But it does take 2 hits from a Disruptor to kill a Queen. So we've still got a big Zerg army here. Transfuse. Queen's on a plane. Going deep. Gotta re-establish that icky mess in the turn, or Protoss natural. It doesn't matter what race the opponent is, they're gonna get an icky mess. As long as they're not Zerg. If you do a queen drop and late creep in the opponent's base, it's kind of like making a mess in someone's already gross apartment. They really just don't care. They're like, that's how I live my life. Bunch of injured queens here, pushing uphill into gateways, photon overcharge, and cannons. I would say that was not the best decision in the history of StarCraft 2, but it was a decision. And it's important that you stand by it and say that, yep, that was me. I did that. For better or worse. Probably worse. The tumors almost completed. The Protoss nipping that icky mess in the bud before it comes to fruition. Creep spread. Sort of potentially maybe later making progress in the game. The main base mining up, still waiting for that golden moment to transfer them to the 4th. Got some money in the bank. Got some drones in the bases. Got a lurker den in the works. And it's already done. What's the follow-up going to be? 2 lurkers here. Creep tumors. Lots of links. Queens on a plane again. This is Icky Mess Part 5. How many kills? 3 kills, 9 kills, 5 kills. Going hard on that assimilator. This will certainly delay the Protoss' ability to produce more disruptors. There's a battle happening here. Let's be honest, this is the more interesting event in the game. At any moment, these queens could lay 3 creep tumors, or more. Wow! How could a Protoss be this respectful to their opponent? I'm not sure which to be more impressed by, the queen dropping creep tumoring business or the manner. I'm beginner Protoss, with 2 parentheses. So I'm guessing this is a Russian player? Russian people love parentheses, from what I've seen. Excellent match by Isszul. What a fantastic display of skill. What a marvel of creep spread and icky messes in the Protoss natural. Thank you for submitting this replay. Thank you for supporting the stream. This has been a Neuro StarCraft cast. GG.